Welcome to this explainer on the architecture of long-term wealth. So look, if you've spent, more than 5 minutes scrolling through your social media feeds lately, I am willing to bet you've been absolutely bombarded by videos of people promising you the ultimate secret to getting rich quick. You definitely know the ones I'm talking about. The flashy cars, the wild crypto promises, the overnight dropshipping success stories. It is endless. And honestly, it's kind of exhausting. But what if I told you that the actual cheat code to building wealth isn't some trendy hack or a viral scheme? Today, we're going to look at the source material on the real architecture of long-term wealth. We're going to strip away all that digital noise and give you the actual blueprint. Okay, let's dive right into this.
What if building wealth isn't about getting lucky? Because, so many people, especially right now in high school or just starting out in the world, kind of think that getting wealthy is literally like catching lightning in a bottle. They think you have to invent the next big app or win the lottery or just get extremely lucky on a random stock pick. But the source material we're looking at today completely shatters that myth. It proves that building wealth is actually about making smart, structured, and honestly, incredibly boring financial decisions. It's about following a proven system, not taking a spin on the roulette wheel.
Section 1, the ultimate cheat code. Start early. Now, if life were a video game, you actually already have the most overpowered ability unlocked simply by virtue of being your age. Right now, as a student, you have one asset that the richest 50-year-old in the world literally cannot buy more of. Can you guess what it is? It's time. Time is vastly greater than the amount invested. It is for sure the single biggest advantage an investor can have. You might be sitting there thinking, hey, I only have a part-time job. I can only save maybe 20 bucks a week. What's the point? Well, the point is that 20 bucks invested today has literally decades to grow. The money you put to work right now has an incredibly long runway. Even really small investments, when given 30 or 40 years, turn into massive, massive amounts of money. Delaying your investments, even if you plan to invest much larger amounts later when you have a full-time career, drastically reduces your future wealth. Your age is your superpower. Section 2, the magic of compounding. Let your money work. Now, you might be wondering, how exactly does time make 20 bucks turn into thousands? Well, that is the engine under the hood of long-term wealth. And it is fascinating once you see how it works behind the scenes. Compound interest means earning returns on both your original investment and your previous returns. Let's break this down into a really simple analogy. Imagine a tiny snowball at the very top of a massive snow-covered hill. When you first roll it, it's just picking up a few flakes, right? That's your original investment. But as it rolls down the hill, the snowball gets bigger. And because it's bigger, it has more surface area to pick up even more snow. Soon, the new snow is picking up its own new snow. That's compounding. Wealth grows incredibly slowly at first, but growth accelerates over time until that tiny snowball is a massive boulder. Starting early drastically increases your growth. Take someone who starts investing right now in high school versus someone who starts in their 30s. The late starter might even be investing way more cash out of their pocket every single month, but because they started halfway down the hill, their snowball just doesn't have the runway to reach the same massive size. Compounding absolutely heavily rewards patience and consistency, and it severely punishes delay. Letting your money work for you early on is absolutely crucial. Section 3. Consistency beats perfect timing. This is an area where a whole lot of young investors get tripped up. They think they need to wait for the stock market to be at the exact perfect low point to buy in. But the sources are incredibly clear on this rule of the game.
Trying to time the market makes you constantly anxious. You're always checking your phone, trying to guess if the market is going up or down tomorrow. It's literally exactly like waiting until the night before a huge final exam and frantically trying to cram an entire semester's worth of knowledge into your brain. It's incredibly stressful, and let's be real, it usually doesn't end well. Conversely, time in the market is relaxed and consistent. You invest a fixed amount regularly, whether the market is at an all time high or an all time low. It's like studying for just 15 minutes every single day. By the time the final rolls around, you aren't sweating at all because you've consistently built your foundation. Successful investors don't guess, they just stay consistent.
Section 4, protect wealth by spreading risk. Because once you start building this wealth, you have to know how to protect it. If there's one thing you take away from the actual mechanics of investing, let it be this. Never ever put all your money into one single investment. Think of your money like a sports team. If you were managing a soccer team, you wouldn't put all 11 of your best players in the striker position, right? I mean, sure, you might score a goal, but the first time the other team gets the ball, you have zero defense and you'll lose the game for sure. Spreading your investments across different assets like stocks, bonds, or real estate is like having a solid defense, a creative midfield, and a really sharp offense. When one sector takes a hit, the others are there to keep your wealth stable. Diversification spreads risk and ensures you stay in the game long term.
Section 5, master your investing emotions. Discipline is key. Honestly, this is probably the hardest rule for most people. The source material highlights that the two biggest enemies to your financial future aren't taxes or bad advisors. They are actually your own fear and your own greed.
Emotional control requires you to avoid panic selling when the market crashes. And you absolutely cannot chase hype or buy something just because everyone else on social media is doing it. Think about the high school rumor mill for a second. When a crazy rumor starts spreading through the cafeteria, everyone panics and reacts to it, right? But by next Tuesday, everyone realizes it was completely fake news. Well, the stock market has its own rumor mill. Making financial decisions based on fear or sudden hype is just like buying into cafeteria drama. You need to ignore that daily noise and focus on years and decades, not days. It all comes down to one absolutely famous rule in the investing world. Time in the market is more important than timing the market. It perfectly summarizes everything we've talked about today. The power of investing doesn't come from a magical crystal ball. It comes from staying in your seat, ignoring the short-term noise, and staying invested through the market's natural ups and downs. So, let's wrap this whole shebang up into an actionable, foolproof blueprint that you can actually start using today. Step 1, start early. Use that massive runway of time you have right now. Step 2, invest consistently. Ignore the hype, avoid the cramming, and just put away a set amount regularly. Step 3, let compounding work. Just leave that snowball alone and let it gather momentum down the hill. Financial success isn't luck. It's really just patience and smart habits. And as young learners, you are right at the perfect starting line to put this exact blueprint into motion. Which leaves us with this final, incredibly important question. Your greatest asset is time. So how will you use yours? Will you let it slip away chasing viral trends? Or will you use it to architect your own long-term wealth? The choice and the cheat code is entirely in your hands. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this gives you the clarity to start making those smart decisions today.